Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, BTM here bringing you match number 21 in my Age of Empires series. Today we're playing Spain on Great Lakes. It was randomly selected, so I had no preference or choice in which map we would be actually playing on. It is frozen over though, which kind of takes away the naval elements that we expected from this map in the last game, and the possibility allows you to pretty much walk through all but the very center of the map on the ice, even though you can't build on the ice. You may notice, obviously, I'm playing as Spain. Trying out something a little bit new. I mean, we've played Sioux for quite a few matches, so I decided it was time to move on. I love Sioux, and I've been really getting into it, but again, we can't play Sioux every day. We got to mix it up. So bringing you here is Spain one-on-one. Now, the reason why I picked Spain in particular as a civ I wanted to get to playing was because Spain has a very different playstyle than Sioux, and a very different playstyle than what I normally play as. I don't like finicky strategies necessarily. I generally like massive militaries and aggressiveness and push immediately. You may notice there, by the way, I made a mistake in herding. I didn't get that herdable to my town center. I accidentally shot them away from me. So a little bit of a new play by me to begin the game, but not the end of the world. So what makes Spain different from Sioux necessarily? Well, when we played Sioux, we focused a lot on raiding and continual pressure, and then eventually just overcoming them, and we pretty much did all of that in the Second Age. Now, the reason why I picked Spain to play next is because we're not going to use Spain's Second Age at all. We're going to fast fortress in Spain and go directly into the Third Age, and so it's a 13 villager fast fortress. Now, the basic strategy behind this is that you make 10 villagers, and then you send 3 more, and you have 13 villagers, and you age up. And so that's kind of what I'm going to do in this game, although I accidentally make 14, which isn't necessarily the end of the world, but it's my first time trying this. I haven't even had a practice game or anything, so that's why it's a little bit funky. You may notice, by the way, I used my extra dog, Fiesta, to run around the map. That way I can kind of get extra scouting. I'm not really going after treasures particularly unless I see something I really like, so I wasn't super concerned with holding onto the dog. I also, you may notice right there, have some trouble hurting that moose. I tried to send my villagers to the other side of that trade post to shoot it and then bring it back to me, but it didn't work out that well. They end up getting stuck there, and then I have to walk them around, have them kill the moose, and it's a big long production at this point. So back to the strategy. So our goal at this point really is to use our fast fortress, and the reason why Spain is so good at fast fortressing is that they can age with 500 food if you have a home city over level 60, and they can send a 700 wood or 700 coin card, excuse me. So all that means I need to get in order to age up is 300 gold, and unless I'm very much mistaken, I have 500 food, 700 food and 300 gold. I'm sorry, pardon me. So, and I can do that at the expense of sending a shipment, but Spain has a shipment bonus. They gather shipments faster than any other civilization. It's their special, unique civilization thing. So it makes it really easy to age up with Spain or to fast fortress with Spain. Now you may notice here I shift 5 to gold, because remember, we have to get our 300 gold and our 700 food. That way we can go straight to the fortress age. Now this is really different from Sioux, because the Sioux were all about attacking the Second Age and units as fast as possible. With Spain, you're not even going to have units on the map till probably 6 or 7 minutes into the game. And so, as compared to attacking at 4 minutes or 5 minutes and trying to overcome them in that way, this is a different strategy. But it's a fun one nonetheless. So at this point, as I'm aging up, I'm trying to get to my 700 food, 300 gold. You may notice there, I walked all the way across the map for that treasure and didn't get it. It really pissed me off. I wasn't quite sure what to do with my explorer in this match, actually. I kind of was a little bit noobish. I sent him walking all over the map trying to get things and never really accomplished all that much. So wasn't great play by me in the early game. I was kind of flustered by the fact I was off with a villager and the such. Now, what do you do once you get to the fortress age? Because you're Spain, you can get to the fortress age using those 2 shipments. What do you do then? Well, Spain can send 14 pikemen, I believe. They can spend mercenaries. They can send more gold. They can send cannons. They can send resources. They have a lot of options in the Third Age. So our real goal here is to get to the Third Age, be able to send larger sums of units before he likely attacks me, and use that to our advantage. Now that we're in the Second Age, and we have the food we need by a good amount, we're going to move all but 2 or 3 away from food. And the reason why we're doing that is because we only need about 3 or 4 villagers actually to 2 to 4, I guess you could say, because I know previously I just said 2 to 3, and here I just said 3 to 4. But between 2 to 4 villagers, probably closer to 4. That's all you really need actually to maintain villager production. Our main goal here is gold and wood, because we want to be able to build lots of houses, because we're going to be sending all of our military units in the third age as soon as we get there. Now, there is a variation of this strategy where you get the trade post and you send the advanced trade post card instead of the 3 villagers in the first age, and I will definitely be doing a video with that. However, I started on a map with all these trade posts and I did not have a deck with that card in it, so that probably would be a slightly better way to work out this game, but it's not the strategy necessarily I was using, but the strategy I'm using works out decently, I guess I could say. So you may notice here I'm about getting ready to age to the third age at 5 minutes into the game. I sent my 700 gold a little bit late, which was kind of foolish of me. I had a mistake there in terms of getting my gold to me quickly. I got distracted, and then of course the gold didn't arrive as soon as it could have, so I probably could be aging a little bit sooner than I actually am going to end up aging. Now you have your choice of things to age with. You can age with Hussar, Pikemen, a mix of Pikemen and Crossbowmen. I think I go straight Pikemen, because when I looked at his deck earlier in the game and we observed what he had, we did see that he had the 7-horse Mongol Horseman card, I believe they're called, or something like that. So I knew that he was likely going to try to attack with some cavalry and to get some peripheral raiding on me, and I knew that just because that's what I would do in this situation, you know, just common sense, you know. You have the cavalry card for 7 cavalry, yeah, you're going to send it in raid. I noticed his explorer comes into my town at this point, and so he's going to kind of see where all my villagers are laid out, and I'm not freaked out about it, but at the same time I'm kind of like, well, don't really want him to be able to kill things. He didn't see the explorers at the bottom, so what I am going to do is I'm going to wait till he walks away, and then I'm going to send them all to go wood chop somewhere else, hopefully to buy me a little bit of time and confusion for him trying to run through and get an easy raid, you know what I mean? Like, he'll run there and then he'll be like, whoa, they're not there. At this point I do start to go for the trade post. I want the experience. I should have probably built it earlier. Like I said, I'm fine-tuning it. It's a little kinky, but now we're getting to the third age, and this is where the fun really begins, because now we have all these options of, we can send cannon, we can send pikemen, we can send resources, and of course the big fun toys, the mercenaries. And that's really what I'm really looking forward to. I don't play this. You may notice there, by the way, I ordered my explorer to build a trade post and sent him walking away from it. Like I said, not extremely well played this game, just a little bit off balance a little bit here in terms of getting things going. But so the game's progressing, and at this point, you know, you really got to pull off your fast fortress smoothly, because if you get to the third age and you don't send those units, then he's going to have a pretty strong colonial army by this point attacking us. And so this is kind of a finicky strategy, because if you don't pull off to the third age and get your units and recover quickly, you're pretty behind him. I mean, your real advantage is that you're getting the shipments, so you have to maximize your actual getting of these shipments. So I send immediately the 14 pikemen to accommodate the 8, and there goes his cavalry right by where I was wood chopping, so he totally fell for the plan. I don't want to act prideful in this situation, but it's pretty nice when you kind of predict something and you feel like, I'm going to take this precaution to stop it, and then your precaution works. He does manage to kill a villager there, and that really annoys me. I'm going to let those 2 villagers go herd up there, and I'm going to leave my pikemen up by those villagers to the north to protect them. I, of course, have 14 more pikemen coming to back up my current 8, so I'll have 22 pikemen fairly shortly. And I mean, that's not a huge, that's a actually very small army for 22 minutes in the game. But right behind those pikemen, I have cannon. That should dissuade or destroy any Choco nose he sends after me, the Japanese archers. And so it's not, it looks like things are going pretty well at this point. Now, he is doing what I like to do, grabbing lots of trade posts, and so it's very important, at least in my mind at this point, that we make firm or take firm control of these trading posts. The first way we're going to do that is by saving our own trade posts. And the reason why trade posts are important is because we're going for shipments and our economy is behind because we fast fortress. We really need to grab those trade posts and move forward with taking command of the map and getting the resources and the experience in that those things will benefit with us. Now for my fourth shipment and third one in the colonial age, I do decide to go to send towers. I really kind of want to prevent him from feeling like he can raid on my town, and so in order for me to kind of move forward and start raiding him, I want him to feel Like before I start raiding him, like right now he's the one raiding me. I want to turn that dichotomy around, make it so I'm the one raiding him. But I feel like before I can do that, I need to I need to make my town unraidable, basically. That's kind of my plan. I send those cannons to fire mode, by the way, just in case anything wanders through my town. I figure better safe than sorry. His explorer's dead there. I got the trade post recovering. All pretty good at this point. I'm getting my third trade post built, and I'm going to destroy his, and I'm just going to throw up these towers right around my town. Again, they're not really going to do anything amazing, but they should stop him from feeling like he can just walk in. It's more of an appearances thing, you know? So, not an awful fourth card to send. I felt like it was more important for me to send that card right now rather than send military. The trading posts are going to keep giving me more experience. I'll get military coming fairly quickly. I then sent the 600 gold, pardon me, because I wanted to get some military units, some mercenaries out on the field as fast as possible, and I do need to fix this deck. I'm pretty sure there's a 1,000 gold card that I could have sent instead, and so I really should have had that card in my deck rather than this 600 gold. Unfortunately, I start to send my pikemen though around the back of his town. I want to hopefully be able to raid anything on the peripheral edges or on the outside. I guess the sides is technically the definition of peripheral. I want to be able to raid anything I can around and about. It's time to start making him feel like I'm the one in control of the game, you know. And even though you may notice here, I'm going to attack this trade post, even though I'm not actually going to destroy this trade post, I want to leave it with enough damage so I can hit it, run, and then come back and kill it fairly easily. So it's kind of just a mental game at this point. And now I have lancers. I have 4 lancers coming, and can't afford those guys just yet. So I think I'm going to send... Or am I just going to wait? No, I'm going to send villagers, try to get my economy going. I have some lancers incoming to come join my army of pikemen. Our goal now is to destroy his army. He's got some Choco No, so it's very important that I evade those Choco No at the moment and get out of there so most of my pikemen can live, while my lancers and cannon, which will absolutely destroy the Choco No with little if any losses, can arrive at the situation we want, arrive at the scene of the battle. I had them going in a group, and then I realized, wait, this is stupid. I'm going to send the lancers ahead separately. Smart choice there. I keep having the pikemen run away. I have the cannons looping around, and all around this is looking pretty good. I mean, he's got a numerical advantage, but I think I have far superior units. Plus, I have 2 cannons, which will absolutely just shred him if we start to get into a melee fight. So I have my melee units moving in, and cannons now going to be setting up on the outside to attack, and he runs away actually there, which gives me a little bit of an advantage, chances to get some free attacks on him and to get the ball rolling. You notice the cannons are just cleaning house, so all around fairly good stuff happening. Just have the cannons kind of picking him off at a range. He, I'm sure, knows that they're there, but he didn't send his cavalry to try to kill them just yet. And I am able to escape, I think, with most of my army, and I, of course, heal up the trade post. I don't want to let it be easily... I don't want it to be able to easily fall, and I'm going to send the Stradoids, I think. They're basically uber powerful cavalry. And then after that, I'm going to send, I'm going to then send 4 villagers to keep my economic progress getting back to where it needs to be. Remember, I only have 3 villagers on food at this point, and I have had for most of this match. But remember, our big goal here is to send our advanced units. Now, I kind of scare him away. Again, I'm not really trying to take out his town. I'm trying to make him feel like he's on the defensive, which at this point he solidly is. So I destroy that village, and the reason why is villages are 200 wood each, so I figured it was a good, easy target, you know. He knows I'm here. Pardon me, I just burped a little bit. He knows I'm here now, and he's kind of worried about it, so I figured it was a good, easy choice. Now, he does send some cavalry after my cannon, so I'm just going to basically just march around my pikemen a little bit, try to keep my cannons safe. I don't want them to die unnecessarily, and I'm shifting a few of my trading posts now at this point to gold, because remember, we want to keep the mercenaries coming. Our whole plan is the city shipments, so that's what we're going to do, and we're going to be able to here grab a 5th trading post, really giving us a humongous advantage in terms of executing our strategy, having 5 trading posts. Now, again, if we had the advanced trading post card, it would help us even more, but alas, I foolishly did not have it in the deck. Now, I notice he's building stuff at this point in the map, or behind his town, at this point in the game, not at this point on the map. So my hope is to maybe get those Stradoids around the back and attack him somehow. Not quite sure exactly what I had planned, but I just keep shooting at his villagers, keep pressuring him from one side while I military walking up from the other side, and in comes some cavalry, and I'm gonna try to block them with my pikemen, but I might have overstretched myself here just a little bit. And that's always a mistake, and that's always one of the dangers. I mean, you feel like you're invincible, but then you get flanked, and I guess that's why I really enjoy rush games, is just the strategy aspect of it. But I do manage to save both falconets, but my military at this point is taking a pretty good beating. But on the bright side, we are doing fairly well, killing a lot of herd unit, or his units, the Chinese's units, I guess. I'm sorry, I don't want to be racist. I wasn't sure how to refer to them there. We are managing to kill a lot of their villagers and have victory on this front of the battle at least, and seemingly victory on this other front of the battle too. So, unfortunately though, those Stradoids were attacking the town center instead of killing the villagers, and that really kind of bummed me out. I would have much rather had them attacking the villagers. I did a bad job micromanaging, and I only have one cannon left actually at this point, so perhaps I'm not doing quite as hot as I thought. I have 14 idle villagers, and I'm like, where's the nearest mine? And I think I looked over one and then sent them up there, but that's not necessarily a bad mine to send them to, because there's another mine in the area and lots of food. I do lose my cannon though in a foolish mistake, but my mercenary cavalry is doing fairly well. I've pretty much stifled his economic growth, so all around I've got some good legs up on him at this point. I probably shouldn't have kept pressing into his town at this point though. I mean, I feel like it's only going to incur losses, and I end up only saving my mercenary cavalry, the Stradoids. By the way, if I'm not pronouncing it right, please tell me in the comments. I'm never sure how to pronounce things. At this point though, I'm fairly aware. I'm like, you know what? We're going to have to go into a normal military strategy at this point. So after I send the Swiss pikemen, I'm going to send the infantry trains faster card. I think it's called training school if I'm correct. We're going to send the training school, and we're really going to start focusing on, I guess, more traditional warfare at this point. We've run out of cards to send. I mean, it's given us a huge advantage. If you look at the score, 133 to 86, so we've definitely managed to do a pretty good job getting a leg up from this, but now we're going to have to shift to more traditional units and actually start making our own army instead of sending them. But fortunately, we have a lot of population, a lot of wood, and we have all the trade posts, so it'll be pretty easy to do. And he's managed to amass quite a nice army despite being under pressure. So I'm not going to lie, I was not unimpressed by the way he played. I mean, I know that he didn't play necessarily amazingly. I mean, I'm not super familiar with China because I don't play him a lot, but he played fairly well. And so he did a good job. I've heard that the Spain fast fortress is generally considered one of the best strategies there. And at that point, running away with those Stradoids was not a smart choice. I really should have had those Stradoids keep in and mauling those units. I'm pretty sure those were all skirmishers. So having them run away, I'm not sure what to do. Now, one thing I'd like to digress here and say is one of the cards you can send as Spain actually is a 4 missionary or 4 surgeon card. I actually have it in my deck, and what it basically allows you to do is heal up your mercenaries and keep them alive. In this situation, that would have been a great card to have. I mean, those Stradoids are pretty battered, but if I could have gotten them to full health, wow, they would have been pretty useful. I send the Stradoids back in their town though to kind of get a little bit more pressure, see what's up. I don't see him. I'm trying to take out that consulate because he's sending consulate units, but I'm unable to do so. He sends an army into my Swiss pikemen. Now I'm just going to eat him alive. You might have noticed the key to this strategy, I guess, really is just using small units or small numbers of really powerful units. So it's a little bit of a change for me. Also, it's really reliant on being able to use your home city as effectively as possible. I did send 1,000 food though because I kind of want it to be like a down payment onto my unit or onto my army I'm trying to build here. And I make some skirmishers, or I make some crossbowmen right off the bat. I'm going to start making skirmishers. I just realized I have this huge stockpile of gold. He's coming at me, so why not? I try to be a little bit funky here. I mean, you know I love strategy, so I try to split up my crossbowmen in one army and my spearmen in another, and I kind of want to flank him at this point and be like, alright, you're going to come at me against my skirmishers, you're probably going to do really well, and then boom, my infantry, my hand infantry will come out of nowhere. But he ended up going somewhere else, so it didn't really work out so much. So my fancy maneuvering didn't do as much as I would like it to have done. But at this point, I feel like, you know what, we got a fairly good sized army control. We really need to push him back in a way. He was attacking my trade post, but left as soon as he saw that I was marching into his town. He's got a lot of people gathering wood right in the general vicinity of his town, so I'm going to kill them, and I'm going for the Summer Palace. Summer Palace makes units continually, like their banner armies continually, so I was like, if I can get rid of that stupid thing, I don't think he'll have the resources to continue making men to attack me. So that was kind of my plan. But then his army comes in, and I was faced with the choice of, do I kill the Summer Palace and then take care of his army, which I probably won't be able to because I'll have lost lots of units, or do I try to kill his units and then kill the Summer Palace? And I tried to kill his units instead of kill the Summer Palace, but I actually get pretty resoundingly, I think, defeated here. So I recorded this like 10 minutes ago, and I can't even remember what happened. I'm sorry. I get pretty resoundingly thumped by his army at this particular point, so I probably should have just decided to take out that Summer Palace while I had the chance and had my Swiss pikemen alive, which was kind of foolish of me, I guess, not to. I do get more skirmishers coming, though. Our switch to a more traditional war was the wise choice at this point, and we're able to pretty much spam out skirmishers at this point in the game, although the game's gone on pretty long, so it makes sense. I do send a fort. My goal is now to get a forward base right near his town, use it to be able to train and drop off units pretty effectively, but I don't think there's that much left in the match. I mean, we've pretty much won at this point, so it was just a little bit of a fun little trial against with Spain against China, the Fast Fortress. It's something different, right? So it was a really good match. It was really fun. I've never ever actually before this one game I played done a Fast Fortress, so it was really different for me. So I really hope you guys enjoyed. It was a good game. I felt like he played pretty well. He probably didn't put enough pressure on me in the short term to stop me from Fast Fortressing, and that's probably what I would say he should improve on. And I obviously made lots of blunders with shipments and my order and my micromanagement. So I didn't do necessarily super well there, and I probably should have had a deck with advanced trade posting also. So definitely room for improvement for both of us. So all around a good game. I want to take a moment to shout out to all my new subscribers. I've gained a ton over the last few days. It's been so crazy to watch. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section or send me a message. I know this channel is a work in progress. I know we're improving. We're constantly learning. We're trying to get better. So if you have tips or ideas that isn't just senseless flaming, please share it with me. I'd really like to hear from you. It means so much to me that you guys like participate and watch and like it. It's really humbling and it's awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching. That's how you do a Fast Fortress. We're going to go a little bit more in depth in it in future videos. So until I see you guys next time, good luck and happy hunting.